Hello, fellow travelers. My name is Martin Desmond. Welcome to my channel. I've already covered the Dragon Bravo wildfire, which burned down the Grand Canyon Lodge, in a couple of other videos. My spouse and I visited Grand Canyon Lodge in June 2024. According to the Washington Post, the National Park Service is currently assessing the damage from the wildfire. They haven't made any decisions yet about whether they'll rebuild the lodge. It's still early. The Park Service is focused right now on controlling the fire and making sure everyone stays safe. Unfortunately, the Dragon Bravo fire has exploded from 5,000 acres when the lodge was burned down on July 12th to 55,000 acres as of July 28th. The fire pushed 3 to 4 miles northward on July 27th. I suspect that the two primary causes are both the high fire danger and the lack of sufficient firefighters and equipment. Funding is a big concern. Rebuilding anything, especially something as large and iconic as the Grand Canyon Lodge, isn't cheap. The big question is whether the Trump administration will rebuild the lodge. Important decisions and action needs to be taken in the next few months to stabilize the remaining stone walls before the winter snows set in. Needless to say, the Trump administration is not a friend of the National Park Service. For example, a July 2025 analysis by the National Parks and Conservation Association, NPCA, reveals a sharp decline in staffing levels across the national park system since January 2025. Since the Trump administration took office, the National Park Service has lost 24% of its permanent staff, a staggering reduction that has left parks across the country scrambling to operate with bare-bone crews. The park staff who remain are being asked to do more with less, and it's simply not sustainable. Additional seasonal hiring is lagging far behind the nearly 8,000 positions pledged by the Trump administration, with only roughly 4,500 seasonal positions filled as of early July 2025. The Trump administration has been proposing significant reductions in National Park Service funding this year. For example, the administration's fiscal year 2026 budget proposes a $900 million cut to the operation of the National Park Service, roughly a 30% reduction from its current budget of $3.1 billion. The Trump administration proposes cuts of $73 million for park construction funding, $77 million for recreation and preservation funding, and $197 from the Historic Preservation Fund. When Sperry Chalet in Glacier National Park burned down in 2017, the nonprofit Glacier National Park Conservancy raised a significant amount of money for Phase Zero for emergency stabilization and preservation of the chalet's stone masonry walls before winter set in. The National Park Service spent $4.03 million in 2018 for initial rebuilding, with additional funding from the Conservancy. The Park Service then spent another $4.73 million for Phase 2 in 2019 for the finishing. The Sperry Chalet reopened in 2020 to the public. If I was to make any guesses, I doubt that the Trump administration will take any actions in the next several years to stabilize Grand Canyon Lodge before the cold and snowy winter months. If you are concerned about the likely failure of the Trump administration to rebuild the lodge, please write to your local senators and representatives. Please like and subscribe my channel so that you can receive updates about what is happening to our national parks. Thanks again for listening.